today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, I'll be sharing with you how to make your Jamaican Escoveitch fish. And at the end of this video, you should be making your Jamaican Escoveitch fish like a pro. Now let me pause here to say special thanks to my patrons. Those who are new, welcome and thank you. And those who have started the Patreon journey with me, thank you. And if you would like to be a member of my Patreon family, in the description of this and all my other videos, there will be the link. Thank you. So, Jamaican Escoveitch fish. Is it something that is hard to make? No, it's not. What is the solution? Follow the steps that I'll be showing you. Just follow them. It's not hard. Let's proceed. Now right here I've got some fishes. They have all been cleaned. They have all been everything. Now they are snapper. Number one, choose fish that is firm to fry. Like snapper, kingfish. You can use sliced fish too. Grunt, those type of fishes. And some other fishes. Parrots if you can. Choose fish that are firm, them not easy for mash. So for this recipe you're gonna need your fish, of course. These are for the pickle. This is my salt and pepper, and this is what I will use to season my fish. A little salt and black pepper, but you can use your other seasoning of choice. But I want to say something to you: do not over season the fish. Don't add on too much of a thick layer of seasoning on the fish, because you're gonna fall in problems when frying, and I'll show you. Now for the pickle, you're gonna need some pimento seeds, you're gonna need onions, you're going to need, wow, coyote or chocho. Sweet peppers, not for me, but if you want to have your different color bell peppers, go ahead, but I don't use it. Okay, originally we use coyote, onions and carrots. Make sure so you have them here, you know, as much as if, because I'm just doing like 4 fishes. So if you're doing a lot to give friends and family or to entertain for the Easter, the more the merrier. That's quite self-explanatory. The more fish you have and the more pickle you're gonna eat. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get your skillet all fired up on a reasonable heat. I'm gonna have my fire up my skillet right here. You want to fry shallow fat versus deep fat. Deep fat fry is when the whole of the sitting submerged in the oil. Therefore you won't have to turn when you're deep fat frying. As with a deep fryer, yes, you don't have to turn. Shallow fat, you will have to turn. So you shallow fat frying, it works better. So I've just fired up my skillet. I'll be seasoning my skillet, the oil in my skillet. Use a thick bottom skillet, something that is not hard to burn the fish them, because you have to fry the fish them at a reasonable pace. You don't want to fry them too high and burn them up, you know. So I'm gonna be frying up my skillet with I'm gonna be seasoning my oil in my skillet with just garlic. If you want to do other condiments, do you. I'm just using garlic. Okay, so I've turned my skillet on reasonably high. Do not overeat it or do not eat it up on too much of a high heat, and at this point I think my heat is too high, so I'm gonna turn it down. You want to go medium. Let it eat slowly. Let it eat mediumly. Let the fish fry mediumly, not too high, can't be too low either, you know. So I'm just removing the skins from my garlic, and I'll proceed in the next clip. Garlic's in and I'm drying them. Me give them a rinse. Me just rinse my garlic. That's just me. You're flavoring up your oil. Don't let these garlic burn in there and burn up the oil, and then you start having burn flavor. So you see them? Reasonable or medium. Now whilst that is happening, because you're doing it medium on the medium, you got enough time to attend to your fish. So these are your fish. You go and dress them up a little. I'm just gonna clip I'm not gonna take off everything. Just clip the bottom there. Yeah, I want them to, or you want them to look like fish when you're serving. So you don't want to clean them up and make them just look, you know, them face just look bare like when, you know. So that's what I'm doing. But if you want to take off everything, go ahead, dress your fish. What I'm doing right now is I'm just dressing the fish. So I still, at the end of the day, even though I'm dressing it, I want it to look like a fish when I'm serving. See a big one here, and this one look like a feather. Beautiful. So you want to dress it like this. You see the tail, so you just dress it. Oh, tail tough man, like this, okay? Alright, so with the thing here, you want to take off a little piece. That's me, you know. But if you want to dress your fish different, go ahead, dress your fish how you want to dress your fish. Okay, because dressing the fish, not really have nothing to do with the process of how you want it to make it taste good, you know. So just do your little thing. Okay. Flipping over my garlic, and they smell so nice. I don't want them to get burned. So this thing is like a multitasking rider whistling. So that is happening, and I'm gonna be watching my garlic very, very keenly. So right at this point now, I'm going to be drying my fish. You want to get them fish are dry. I'm using a clean cotton kitchen towel. You can use your hand towel. You can use, but I prefer to use my hand towel. In the inside too, and all of that. So I'm going over here now, and I'm going to be removing my garlic. This pot here is what I'm going to be making my pickle in. So I'm just going to be putting my pickle in there. My garlic. What is happening? I think Jamaica is so at family at this point. So I'm going to chat anything. So if you don't hear me talk about something, so 100 don't help me. Here, I'm going to turn my flame down. Drying your fish, very important. Because you don't want to get, and if you're working indoors, you got to ensure that the fish is not going all over you. Use something to absorb the fish smell. Because fish it near me now. It not look friend with people for make smell. So on the in and on the out. You want to put a few quarters. Okay. So the fish is like this. So this one is a little biggish. So I'll just give it 2 on each side. Knife dull enough. But don't go all the way. Just because when it fries, it's gonna open up. So I'm just gonna give it. My knife really dull. Workless knife. Okay, so you want to pour it like that, because this one has a little size, so you want to do it like that. You're not going all the way down to the bone, you know. You're gonna mix your little salt and your little black pepper. You can put on your gloves, you know. One girl, me like do it with my pure hand. Try to eyeball your seasoning, your salt and your black pepper are where you want, because as I dip from here, I dip into the fish. So when I'm through, everything that is left, if any left over, you're gonna throw it away. You don't want to use that again. So you want to, you know, put a little here and an extra excitement to open up it, to put it in there, down to the tail. As I tell you, it's just a gentle, slow, you know, not a rush process. And be careful when you are handling this, whether with gloves or with your naked hand. You know, that's just it for me. Yeah. Now, my oil is reasonably heated. And you're not going to roll up your hand, and you're not going to steer far and going to throw the fish. And no, you're just going to come gently. My oil is reasonably heated, and you're going to put that fish down. You want to look if this boy is an old boy. No, this is not an old fish, even though it's big, a little biggish, because it's not bloating up. So that is there, and we are going to treat the other 3 fishes just the same, and we're going to have them in the pot. So you see, this is just the start of this. When I wash my hands, you see them? They are there, and they must fry at this stage. You will come, trouble them, play around with them. They are going to fry on one side until it's quite easy, the easiest thing to turn. Don't come and try to stick them underneath and to shake them up. When they are ready to turn, I'll come back and I'll show you when they are properly fried on one side, how easy it is for you to turn them. I'm going to wash my hands, and when I return in the next clip, I'm going to show you how you make your scrape and clean all my little condiments, and I'm gonna be tempting now, not attempting, I'm going to be showing you how to make the escoveitch. You want to use carrots that are reasonable size, and don't scrape off the green. It helps in the presentation. It helps to add something when you get the carrots. You know, when you say you get the old grandfather carrot, you know, but it works good. So you want to have the carrot. You're going to make some carrot sticks. So don't do like me, put it down on your table and cut. So you're going to get some flat. You're going to get the carrot flat first. So you want to get like slices of flat carrots looking like this. Right. So ends the little, and you want to have them like at the same size. So at the same time, remember I told you, riding and whistling. Yes. As this fish fries, the moisture inside the fish starts to, start evaporating, start to dry out. The more the fish fry and get crispy, that's the thing. You have to fry the fish to let it be crispy, but not burn. The more it gets crispy, or the more the moisture diminishes out of the fish. You are going to hear the fish being popping. It have a pop because it's getting crispy. Okay, now that you have these, you're gonna make sticks. Listen, just do what you can do. You wanna make little sticks like these. If you can do them, pat them on top of each other, you do it. Then your knife must be good. If not, just do it like this. Don't beat up on yourself. Just do what you can do until you can manage. You see that? You wanna have carrot sticks, so be careful when you reach right here. Yeah, you want to have something looking like these. I just call them carrot sticks. They are more julienne, maybe a little more uniform. Let's look at our fish. Let me come back on over here to see if they are ready to turn. And it seems as if they are ready to turn. Now, depending on how close your fishes are, the fins or the little parts of the side might itch to another one, but you don't go any. You don't have to worry. You see that? You see this? You see how crispy this fish is? You see it just pack up in a pot and both. Yeah, I saw when your fish fry on one side. You see how easy it is for me to turn it? Okay, look at this. Just be gently. They're gonna pop, so you must be careful. You see this? Yeah. The big grandfather, yeah? Let me attempt to turn in. I think so we pray that in. So look here. I will run kitchen no runway. I grandfather will come in here. Gently, gently, gently. Yeah. Like that. Okay? So you're gonna push them down now. And just gently. You see how easy they are? You don't go about sliding under. Look at the beautiful golden brown what you have right here, no burn. You see on top here, you don't see a lot of seasoning coming up and making it call it blacky, and your fish is good. You continue to fry at that pace, and when they're ready, you see I have a platter here, you have to move them over. I'll catch you in the next plate. If your carrot sticks, we're going to move on to our coyote right now. So you're going to strip them just like this. I'll show you. I won't stay to show you everything. I'm just going to show you with a 1 or 2. Yeah, and you must choose one that is firm. So you're going to do the same thing with the coyote. You want coyote sticks. So you slice them thin and flat, and you're getting coyote sticks. So you must get a coyote. In Jamaica, we don't say coyote, we say chocho. But for the people that are here, and I don't call it chocho. Okay, these when the picker catch these, they are so beautiful, full of flavor. But if you want to put sweet pepper, put your bell pepper, put it. So you see you have your coyote sticks and your carrot. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this while my fish is finishing up on the second side right there, right on over there, and I'll catch you when I'm about to put this pickle. Okay, these are our fish. They're ready. They're gonna be left open or if you have like a mesh, that would be good. You want to let these fish cool down. This is how crispy they must be. And I know somebody's gonna say, "La, then dry out." They are crispy, they are not dried out. The Escoveitch pickle, it is gonna infuse these fishes. But you will see, you might not understand, but I'll show you. Let's proceed. We're gonna be making the pickle. Remember I told you that I'm gonna be removing, I'm gonna fire up my flame right under here. And yeah, I'm gonna be, wow, using my garlic. These are my fried garlic. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna use about 2 or 3 spoons of this fish oil. But look here, if you're frying festival, you see, do not use this oil to fry your festival, you see. I don't even try to use this fish oil again for anything. You know, it'll make your house too messy. So right there, the first thing I'm gonna be putting in is my carrots. You know, somebody said to me the other day, they thought you just make it and put the vinegar on it. No, you gotta cook it down, family. So let us leave it right in there. I'm putting in the carrots because they are the chewiest at this point, and we're gonna make them start sort of saute off, and I'll come back to you. Oh family, putting in my coyotes. I left just for a second, and look here. If this should happen to you, no worry yourself. The coyote in now. The carrot sticks, they got a little bit overcooked, but don't worry about that. You know, give them a good mix. Wow, I stayed away too long. Onion rings in. Okay. So you know you're doing just a small amount of fish, but even though it's a small amount, some people like one fish with a lot of pickle. So do to you. Now these are my 3 peppers. I'm just using 3 peppers. I've cut them in 4 quarters. You see that? But if your stems are fresh, I always put them in with my stems. Now at this point, you want to add about, for that amount, you want to have about a half of a cup of white distilled vinegar. With your flame up, you're going to put it over it. You're going to also need your tomato seeds. And this is where things are going to get a little strong for the people who can manage it. I'll need to rinse my tomato seeds there, put them in. Just fix this up. Leave it on the ice that you have. Maybe another minute or 2. Yeah. Everything going to be good. You don't want nothing else. This is a pickle. That little oil that I use there is just to give the pickle a little sheen. So what you want to do right at this point, you want to have this covered down for about a minute or a minute and a half to let the heat take the vinegar. Okay? You have to let the heat take the vinegar. That is how the vinegar works. When the heat takes it, it tenderizes. But not too soft, the stuff that you have there. I'll catch you in the next clip. You see what is happening inside there? Yeah. This is when everything will get rampant with the Escoveitch pickle. That is behind the camera and that can deal with it. You see that? With that nice little juice that we have leave down in there, it is time to turn your flame off. Yeah. We're going to leave it covered. We're going to leave it to be properly cooled. The heat with the vinegar, it will just do the trick. I'll catch you in the next clip. So let's put our Escoveitch fish together, family. So look inside here. You see how your liquid looks? Now, for this amount of Escoveitch pickle, you don't want any more liquid more than this. This is that the oil and the vinegar. You see that rich niceness? Look at this. Shoot them up on this, Dad. This is how you want the little liquid to look. Okay? Alright, you don't want water or something like dead water. You're going to do it for Escoveitch. I have only one video that I have done Escoveitch fish in depth, and that was from like about 5-6 years ago. So I don't think I'm thinking that I did not make another one for you since then. I'm not sure, but I'll leave the link to that one for you. So you see my peppers, you see how them come off? I put them in there, you see them? Yeah, you can put it on with the stem. So if you want to go about now and you want to get yourself some like other color peppers, go ahead. It's all up to you right now. I'm just using these 4 fishes, so I don't need any more. So the more for you, the more pickle you're gonna make. Now you're gonna make a layer with this pickle. You know, you don't want to put too much. You want to layer, and you let me show you something. You just layer it. I'm just going to show you. So if it is that you have a lot of fishes and you're going to make layers and layers, you get like a big thing and you layer them. But when you watch that video, you will see what I'm saying. Okay? So we don't have enough fishes here to make layers. So you're just going to lay at the bottom with your pickle. Now you're going to take your fish. You see how firm they are? Okay. You're going to put that. I'm going to put this to the middle as I did with them in the pot. And I'm going to be putting these. And these, your hand is okay, family. Your hand is okay. I feel fish them and on a body one. Now you have made that. You want to come now. This little juice, you don't want to have a lot of water. It's not water. You're going to use this little juice here to like just drip on your fish as you go along. So it's not a long water thing, you know. You see? You see how it is? But look at it. It is a small amount, but it is very powerful. So you want to get out all these little juices with your pepper. You want to come now and you want to start putting all these over it. So you have the bottom all locked and our work table is clean. When we're done, we can take up that. So you just put it right over it. Let us take this little a bit to the side. And you just put as much as you want. Put as much pepper. We don't need a lot of pepper because this is not a lot. So you just go and put it over it. And if you have left backs that you feel like you have too much, you can just freeze it. Okay, let's go clean up and come back. So you want to, I'm there, so you want to make sure you get every last bit of this juice all infused in the fish. Now, you see that? It goes right in there. So that dryness that you're going to say, lad, it dry out. No. This juice here is going to infuse the fish along with these pickles and the juices. You don't want to make sure, you want to make sure your thing look like that, you know. So as I said, if you can get red pepper and all of that, you can do it. If you want to put your bell peppers, do it, but I don't use red pepper. So you want now to cover this with your plastic wrap or your foil, and then 12 to 24 hours after, when all the fishes have just absorbed all this pickle, the smell and everything, cover it down nice and tight, let no hair get in there, then that's your Escoveitch fish. Right now, these are just fish with Escoveitch pickle on it. It is not fully yet Escoveitch fish. I hope you will take this video and you will make your Escoveitch fish for your Easter. Let your family enjoy. It is not anything hard. Just go slow. Just follow the steps I showed you. I'm going to put the link to the other Escoveitch one that I did years ago. And there you can go watch it. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. And I will catch you again with another video. This is the time for Escoveitch fish. This can be served also with the festivals, as you know, bami. Our dough bread is a very good thing. Rice and peas, you do what you want to do. Thanks for watching.